If you're a frequent PNW Haunts and Homicides listener, you probably already know we're Birdie ambassadors.
We wanted to take a quick moment to tell you a little bit more about this awesome product.
Birdie is the modern personal safety alarm made for women by women.
In a situation where you feel threatened or unsafe, you can simply activate Birdie's loud siren and flashing light to create a diversion.
Birdie is perfect to carry anytime because the device is lightweight and comes in a variety of colors.
So important. Use our ambassador link and coupon code PNW Haunts and Homicides to receive 10% off your purchase. Like our social media handles, the coupon code is all spelled out, no special characters.
You can find the link and promo code in our show notes or PNW Haunts and Homicides link tree.
Have a safe-ass day. Hi, Cassie.
Hi, Caitlin.
This is PNW Haunts and Homicides. Back from break.
Yeah, we are. It's the new year.
You know what's funny is they have no idea we were ever on break.
I know, right?
We actually did double episodes during the holidays, so they're like, what break?
Yep, I know. Did we actually have a break? We don't even know. So,
Yeah.
But
I mean, it kind of felt like it because we weren't necessarily actively recording.
yeah.
But even on our break, we did still do some mini recordings. We did Patreon bonus stuff.
Yeah, we did. But anyway.
We are busy ladies. Oh, I was going to tell you, I got some very special, if you're on the Patreon, you can see, slammed across my chest here.
Your testicles.
My testicles. I have a brand spanking new A Nefarious Nightmare merch.
Ooh, yeah, she does. And
Yes,
she didn't
I
tell
do.
me that we were wearing our merch today, so I didn't wear mine.
I did not think about it. I just got it today, too. So.
Nice. Hi, creepy people.
Oh, hello. Also
Hi.
to you.
We didn't say hi. Hi, Patreon as well. We're doing a video. Did you already said that, huh? We're doing the video
Yeah.
for Patreon for the tarot
We
reading.
forgot how this works.
This is our first recording back from the new year. So also happy new year. It's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a while. Okay. Gosh,
All
I
right.
forgot how rigid these cards were.
Yeah, they are a tough
I don't know
shuffle.
if you can see this, you guys. I have markages on my fingers.
Speaking of markages, something to look forward to. You can't see this in the recording unless you're a Patreon.
We'll probably post a photo.
Yeah,
but-
we'll post some photos. I was gifted some very witchy stuff. I have a new palmistry guidebook and a hand printing kit. I have a pendulum. It's like the chicken shit version of a Ouija board. Or Ouija, yeah. I always say Ouija, but it is
Ouija?
Yeah.
I say Ouija.
I say Ouija.
It's funner.
Ouija.
Ouija. Ouija.
It feels fun for me. So
How do you say it? Let us know. An A or an IE,
Yeah, the great debate of 2022.
right? Hopefully that is the only debate in 2022.
You know it won't be.
Eh,
Aw, jeez.
one can
But
dream.
a pretty new pendulum. And I'm just like sitting here thumbing my worry stone. I love this thing.
She's thumbing it.
Thumbing it. All right. So we're going to get down to business because we do
Yeah.
remember that that's kind of how this works.
We're going to get going on our tarot reading for... Oh, Caitlin, do you have any New Year's resolutions?
Jeez.
I asked her before. I was like, should we
No.
talk about our New Year's resolution? She's like, I don't gonna have any.
Yeah.
What were mine? Mine were to read more, which
You've been doing it.
I've
You're
been
crushing
doing
it.
I have been doing it. I'm
my
almost done with my
gosh.
first book for the book review.
That's exciting.
Super excited. Yeah. so-
I think it sounds like you like your book so
Yes.
far better than I liked my first book
Oh,
review
yeah.
book.
It's really good.
So something to look forward to.
I'm liking it. Yeah. And then I don't know. Oh, meet more creepy people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a good resolution. Let us know your resolutions if you would like. Slide into our DMs. Caitlin will handle it because I don't do
Oh,
the.
geez.
I pop on our Instagram and I'll like scroll through for a second, post a meme or a video, and like I'm done. I can't do it anymore.
That's it.
Not that I don't like to talk to people. It just I can't focus my attention on the phone for very long. I don't know what it is.
I feel like a lot of people are finding more and more these days that social media is exhausting.
It is exhausting.
I just particularly enjoy being exhausted and never relaxing. So,
It's like, yeah, it's hard though, because I really do like to hear from people and like see what
Yeah.
everyone's doing on their podcasts. But anyway.
I forward on the good stuff so she knows what's up. Okay, I'm looking out for you guys. All right, so
Okay.
you ready to cut them
I've been
cards?
shuffling this whole time. I'm
Yeah,
kind of
you
just,
have.
I've given up on the actual shuffle, so I'm just kind of doing this type of thing, and then a bunch of cards fall out.
Okay, so that is a technique
Yeah.
that Cassie refers to as dropping the cards.
Usually when that happens, if we're shuffling, a card pops out, we take it, but we haven't like set our intention with these cards yet. So I'm not.
Well, and we
I don't-
had several pop out.
Yeah, I
so-
don't think that those were the ones.
No,
so we're gonna
they weren't.
focus and take a minute for her case vibes to reach the cards. I can see them; they're floating into the card.
Oh, all right. Let's see. I feel like I can actually see the one that I want. I think. All right. And wouldn't you know, it is in reverse. All right, we'll set these bad boys down. So we have the Eight of Wands.
8 of Wands.
All right.
To tell us more insight or give us more insight
Yeah.
into this probably horrifying topic Caitlin is about to tell me about.
I mean, she's not wrong, but okay. So let's see.
And the 8 of Wands has
It's in the reverse too.
in the reverse. It has 8 wands on it. There's a motorcycle, a badass motorcycle bitch down there riding through the desert.
Oh, geez. Okay. Just the premise of the cards already. This is interesting. Okay. Do you want me to read this? Ooh, now I'm interested.
Okay.
It got me. When the Eight of Wands appears reversed, you may feel overwhelmed by the activity around you. Unexpected changes can throw you off balance. You may be required to travel or relocate, although you'd rather not. Stop it right now.
Ooh.
This card says, "Stop, world. I want to get off." Okay.
I want to get off.
Mm-hmm.
Not in the good way.
Yeah, I guess not. If the world is a ride, you're like, I'm out. In a reading about money, this card can mean money goes out faster than it comes in, or you may need to make financial decisions quickly. Oh my gosh, this is really freaking me out. In a reading about your job, the reversed 8 indicates an exceptionally busy period when you have to work harder than usual. During this stressful time, you may feel unequal to the task. Perhaps you'll do lots of work-related traveling now. Oh my gosh, this is so like everything feels very spot on with this.
And
Okay.
I don't know what she's talking about.
Yikes. In a reading about love, a relationship seems to be happening too fast and you feel out of control. Sometimes this card can indicate an illicit, passionate affair.
Ooh.
right.
So it sounds like, do you want to bookmark it?
I do, yeah. And we have another really cool thing. try not to go too far from my mic. We have some Fancy Pants tarot stickers. And we have our fancy tarot calendar. This is our ritual planner for 2022.
The Instagram ads got us.
Yeah. Oh, man. They saw us coming from a mile away.
They know us too well.
Yeah. All right. We think it's going to be fun, though. It's going to help us to really, like, engage with the tarot a little bit more, and we can kind of keep track of some of those patterns. Some of these cards that keep popping up, we'll be able to go back and take a look and see what's what.
Yeah, it'll be cool. So
Yeah. All right.
Well, why do I talk like that? I swear.
I don't know.
I get in front of a mic and I'm just like, oh my God.
Oh my God.
Anyway. All right. Well, we're going to say bye to the Patreon.
Bye.
Bye. We'll see you next time. But we're still here. Don't worry. I might have just bumped the mic, but it's okay. Everything's fine.
It's fine. Everything's fine. All right. Literally, the first word in my notes is all right.
Really?
So apparently I have a problem.
All right.
This rosé is really fantastic. We forgot to tell the Patreon, or show them, I should say.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was one of my gifties for the holiday season. 19 Crimes Rosé.
Snoop Dogg.
Absolutely nothing criminal about this, other than we're drinking it during a
Right.
true crime recording.
Yeah.
It's delicious.
It's
I
pretty
love
good.
it.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Today we're giving what feels like almost a blanket trigger warning.
Okay.
This is going to be rough. You can tell because I'm nervous laughing already. Sentence 1.
So there's going to be a lot of blankets involved?
Yes. You're like, it's about smallpox?
I was like, I love blankets. I don't
Yeah.
like those blankets.
No one likes those blankets. So when you think it's going to get better, it's literally going to get worse in a very sad and predictable way. So,
Okay.
however, we do have some good background on the key players. And as usual, we're going to try to tell you this story without drilling in anything too unpleasant. I've done a ton of reading from other sources, but a lot of the detailed information for this case comes from Anne Rule's book, Mortal Danger.
Okay.
So kind of an ominous title.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. So back to that trigger warning. If you're a regular listener, you've probably already braced yourself and you're ready to go. But on the outside chance that you're not in the headspace for a case that involves sexual assault and domestic violence, please know that we love you and we'll catch you next time.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. So we're going to be delicate where we can and just mindful of the terminology. But if you have input on this front, please know we're always open to helpful and respectful constructive feedback, because I'm certainly not an expert in this field when it comes to like these type of crimes or the psychology around it. So we want to make sure that we do our very best in telling these stories. A little business before we get started. If you are a member of the Patreon, you'll get my review of the movie that's very loosely based on the case or cases, as well as Anne Rule's book, Mortal Danger, on the same topic. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah. It's a Lifetime movie, so, you know, there's a lot of artistic license.
Yeah, I
if you
didn't
will.
end up watching it because, yeah, I didn't realize you did say it was kind of about the case you're working on.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, I'm going to watch it so I can like talk with you in the review. But then I was like, oh, maybe I don't, because I like
they don't
like
know
to
what
be
the case
surprised.
is about.
Yeah. And then maybe I'll get confused and say something from the movie that wasn't like part of it. So I was like, no, I'll just...
Yeah.
So I watched the Harry Potter reunion instead, which was,
Oh, I haven't seen it yet.
oh my God, it's so good. I cried through the whole thing.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I have to finish the series with Chris before we can watch the reunion. So I think we're down to the last Harry Potter movie.
He hasn't seen this?
He hadn't seen them.
What the fuck?
I know. So I was like, look, I really want this to work out. So
You have to like Harry
yeah.
Potter. Oh my gosh.
It's so funny watching it with somebody who's watching them for the first time as an adult.
You just watch them and you're like,
Yeah.
do you like it? Did you see that? Do you know what that means?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm obnoxious to watch movies with.
You have to pause and explain something. Like, you
Pretty
make
much.
sure that you know that you got this, okay? Because it's
Yeah.
important.
Do you even know what a muggle is?
Gosh.
He's like, no, I don't.
It's because
actually.
you are one.
Yeah. Correct. So let's introduce one of those key players, shall we?
If you must.
Yeah, it's kind of central to the story.
All right.
Kathy Ann Jewell was born in Mount Vernon, Ohio,
Okay.
to parents Harold Jewell and Hannelore Erlanger Jewell. And I spent a lot of time trying to make sure that I got the pronunciation right on that. I think I'm very close, if not totally on.
How's it spelled?
It's the first name is Hannelore.
Wow.
Hannelore.
That's
Yeah.
cool. That's kind
It's
of a cool name.
Yeah, it's a Norwegian name, I
Oh,
believe.
cool.
So cool. Her father had been raised in Mount Vernon, and he was a veteran Marine and had actually worked for a family business before moving on to an accounting position. He rarely talked about his service during World War II, but apparently had some pretty harrowing stories, as one might expect, because World War II.
Right? Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And her mother had been born in Germany to a Jewish father and a Christian mother.
Wow.
Yes. So their family narrowly fled the religious persecution and genocide many others would face at the hands of the Nazis in death camps throughout Europe.
Oh my gosh. So
Yeah.
they got out.
Yeah. I mean, they were cutting it real close, it sounds like.
Wow. Ooh.
Crazy. Kate would mature into a beautiful young woman with a unique combination of blue-green eyes and nearly black hair.
Ooh, I love that. It's so beautiful.
It is. It's basically my beauty goals since birth. I'm 1 for 2. So, also, given her natural beauty, her choice in profession as a flight attendant was an obvious choice. Because for such a glamorous job, it was assumed only pretty girls would get hired.
Jeez.
Yeah, I know.
Like, why?
Well,
They're not modeling. Like, they're just a flight attendant.
yeah, for anything that was kind of public facing, that was sort of, it was the time.
Yeah.
That's why you start getting some of these Mad Men type vibes here.
Awesome.
Yeah. But while we can hate on the patriarchy, hardcore all day, every day,
Mhm.
we can also love that Kate was given an amazing opportunity to travel all over the world.
Yeah.
Nepal was a favorite travel destination of hers, which I thought was really cool. That's like kind of unique.
Yeah. I always thought that would be so cool to be like a flight attendant, but I hate to fly.
Yeah. Not for me.
Not for me, but that'd be cool.
Yeah. So she actually spent a great deal of time in Nepal as a young woman.
Wow.
Yeah. So I thought that was really cool. In the book, they talked quite a bit about how the visa process works in Nepal. So they could spend like months at a time there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So very cool. I mean, why not?
Right?
It's beautiful there.
Have you been?
No. In photographs.
Have you been?
Yeah. Have you
I haven't
even
either.
been to Nepal? I have not. So basically, she spent her 20s traveling, having fun with friends. Sounds awesome. Sign me up.
Mhm.
And also somebody warm up the time machine because 20s have come and gone.
Yeah. It's not the same.
No. She did also have some romantic relationships, though. It's clear that many weren't really all that serious. She wasn't serious about those romantic partnerships. It was like, I want to have fun. I want to travel. I'm serious about, my career and kind of getting every last little drop out of it that I can.
Go, girl.
Yeah, get it.
Yeah. You're busy.
Yeah. But by her mid-30s, it seemed she was beginning to feel ready to settle down. So now, while I can't necessarily relate to her jet-setting lifestyle, this part kind of hard same. You know, entering the nearly mid-30s and feeling myself slowing down a little bit. So she had been living in California for some time at that point. Though she had always been in good physical health for the most part, her increasing interest in a healthy, very active lifestyle, along with nutrition, in the face of kind of some generally mild, for the most part, ailments, led her to explore options to optimize her wellness.
Ooh.
So here's where things begin to go sideways.
Oh no, right when she was working on her wellness?
Yeah.
Oh.
Don't work on your wellness.
Yeah, don't do it.
kidding.
It's dangerous.
Well, we say that jokingly,
Yeah.
but yikes. Enter the attractive, nearly 10 years older Dr. John Brandon.
Oh.
That's right. She's about to bag herself some wellness and maybe a doctor husband while she's at it.
Watch out with those 2 first names, though.
Right? Oh. So, upon her first visit to the Bayview Medical Group, Dr. Brandon quickly convinced her to begin an 8-week program that would offer her screenings, dietary and supplement options to boost her already, pretty good health. They hit it off right away, probably due in large part to her seamless blood draw, despite the fact that she typically dreaded such a procedure. Yeah, again, hard same. You draw my blood painlessly or nearly so, we're besties, which we just talked about that recently. Like, did we just become best friends?
Take my blood again.
Oh, no, I wouldn't go that far.
Want to take my blood in the garage?
No, I think I'll stick with the karate. There was one problem, though, with her new bestie / hot Dr. Crush. He was married. Because aren't they always?
Always.
Yeah. But what good fortune it was to discover over the course of the treatment program that the marriage was not a happy one and seemed like it was on the rocks.
So he's telling his patient.
Well, we'll get there. But it comes up.
That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
It comes
Super professional. It comes up. So, I know, and I got to this point and I was like, the marriage is on the rocks. Gee, I wonder why.
Yeah.
Like, maybe don't be telling people that that's not their business. But
yeah. Interesting.
yeah, there's a lot to unpack on this front, needless to say. And we definitely won't get to all of it because we'd be here all day and man, are there some spoilers. Because, I forgot to say, this is going to be a 2-parter.
Oh, yeah. Surprise.
Yay! But let's give it a guess in the context of the Kate and Dr. Brandon's early interactions. Okay, so could it be that Dr. Brandon was flirtatious with Kate? Is that maybe why there's problems in his marriage? Sure. Yep, that's not great. Or maybe that he also offered her shoulder massage? Yeah, I think we're getting warmer.
Okay. He is a doctor.
Yeah, but he's not a massage therapist. Could it be that Dr. Brandon presented Kate with a gift at what might have been their final appointment at the end of the 8-week treatment course? Yeah, sure, maybe that too.
Was it a dick in the box?
That would explain a lot.
Sorry.
No, I love that.
Sorry, everybody.
I mean, sometimes it's just, it's the right gift. Oh my God.
For a doctor to give a patient.
No, it's never the right gift. To be clear, that was 100% sarcastic.
It's only the right gift if you already know about it. You should never just spring a dick on somebody.
Trust me, if you're not sure if she wants to see your dick, she doesn't want to see it.
Yeah.
That's the rule of thumb.
PSA for the week.
Okay. Or maybe was it that at that same appointment, he confessed he was falling in love with Kate? Certainly problematic. But what I think it might have been was that clearly Dr. Brandon was not the good guy that Kate, despite some kind of ooky red flags, was so easily convinced that he was. Clearly a little charm can make up for a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
All of these, I'm like, okay, yeah, maybe that's not so bad. And then it just keeps, it's a progression. I don't like any of it though, I'll be honest.
That's how it usually is. They like to,
they
build.
break you down slowly.
Mm-hmm.
Before long, they were on their first date.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did
So-
he break up with his wife yet? You're going to get there, aren't you?
Do you want me to answer
No,
that?
you can keep going. I'll cut that out.
Oh, no, I was going
Oh.
to say, no, you don't have to cut it out. You can leave in, do you want me to answer that? And then I'll just keep going.
Okay.
I'm picturing something totally different than the reality when we're talking about their first date, which was setting the scene. Christmas Eve, afternoon date
Okay.
at a health food restaurant.
Okay.
It's not where my head.
It's not too bad.
All right. Well, already I'm out. Hard pass. But to each their own, I guess.
I mean, she was like into wellness, so maybe he
Yeah.
was trying to impress her and be like, look how healthy I can be.
I know. I just feel like, is health food really like the inspiration for romance? I don't know.
I think your first date should be
Whatever you
to
want.
a mint shop. A mint, like you're just eating mints. So you don't eat any like food, so you're not nasty for the kiss.
I don't think that there are shops that specialize solely in
Like
mint.
a brush your teeth, go to the dentist, and then go
Oh
to a
my
mint
gosh.
store, and then that's a perfect date to me.
Oh my God. All right. So in Cassie's fantasy land, the dates are real weird.
I care about the breath, y'all.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense if you don't think about it too hard. Oh, okay. Now, the rest of their early relationship is filled with, to put it mildly, cringy cliches about how basically all relationships of this sort begin. John swore this would not be a clandestine affair.
Ooh, he swore it.
Yeah, they always say that. Oh, no, they don't say it. They swear it.
They swear
I
it.
swear it. I promise you this. So far from it, in fact, he told Kate he couldn't remain in a loveless marriage now that he'd met her.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, I know, the bullshit's real thick. But it was the things that he didn't tell Kate that were the most troubling, of course, because duh.
Yeah.
He had a no contact order that was issued as a result of alleged tompeepery.
Ew.
I don't know if that's the right term, but I refused to look into it further because let's face it, I'm probably already on several government watch lists based on my browser history. So,
Tompeepery.
yeah, so
I like it.
tompeepery it is.
I like it.
If you don't like it, Google it yourself. There was also a suit brought against him and the clinic by a former patient and her husband.
Oh. Ooh, I wonder if he hit on her too.
Oh my gosh, Kelsey.
Aw.
How could you have guessed?
Psychic.
Yeah, something. Taken straight from one Anne Rule's book, Mortal Danger, the suit alleged medical malpractice, sexual battery, failure to obtain informed consent, assault and battery, as well as fraud and misrepresentation.
Jeez.
Yeah, it was kind of a list.
Yeah.
Kate was unaware of the Peeping Tom debacle, but she had some knowledge of the lawsuit by his former patient, though, of course, as you might have guessed, John didn't share the details, which I'll be honest was for the best. I mean, at least it was in his best interest.
Yeah.
Because there was no way to explain that situation providing literally any of the details that didn't make him sound like an absolute scumbag.
Are you
It's
going
not
to tell
great.
us?
It's so creepy. It's the same version of like all the things that he kind of started to like break down the walls, and he basically like coerced this woman into like even giving him massage. There was
What?
nakedness involved, and it was just
Oh,
not an
no.
appropriate doctor-patient thing.
That is just such a violation of trust.
Well, and then he tried to gaslight this poor woman because she was, I believe, of Middle Eastern descent, and her religious faith, he basically told her, no, in America, it's fine. Women can see male doctors. You don't understand. This is okay here.
Oh my God. So he
Is
took
that-
advantage of every little thing.
Yep.
That's disgusting.
It's real gross.
Ew.
So, yeah. So in 1993, John sold the practice to his daughter, Tamra, who had worked there for some time at that point. And guys, I don't know. I feel bad, but we hate Tamra.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, we hate Tamra.
Okay.
All right. I said it.
I feel
said what
bad, but we
said.
hate her.
I don't even know why I said I feel bad. Maybe I just have a problem, like...
Hating other women, it's hard.
Yeah, and it's not like she's not the criminal, but although I would argue, obstructing justice, potentially, allegedly, I don't want to get sued.
Allegedly.
Potentially, allegedly. When John's separation from his wife became official, so remember, they've already, kind of started going out, he moved in with Kate and his good friend that he had convinced her to rent a room to in her condo.
Okay. So me and my friend are moving in.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this was not long after his mother had died, leaving him with a rather large inheritance. So John and Kate took a long trip after the business with his practice, and the separation was kind of wrapping up. So they went to visit her family in Arizona, and then they kind of traveled up the Washington coast. It seems like it was on this trip that they discovered Gold Beach, and they fell in love with the small town, resolving to someday live there.
Aww.
Fun fact about Gold Beach, and I took this straight from the book. Gold Beach has more hours of sun on any given day than any other town located on the Oregon and Washington coastlines.
Oh, wow.
I know.
Cool.
No wonder they liked it.
Gold Beach.
Gold Beach. We've got another promo roll that we are really excited to share today.
Hi, I'm Jamie,
And I'm Mel,
and we are the hosts of Murderotica, a podcast about murder
and sometimes ghosts.
and lots of poorly and sometimes well-written erotica.
Murder and sex together, that's a bit grim, Jamie.
Oh my god, no. But yes, but very separately. Imagine your favorite true crime podcast meets a podcast where someone's fatherly figure writes a sexy series of books. No one's thought of that yet, right?
You're telling me, after listening about someone losing their head, with one click of a button, I can hear about someone getting it back again?
Yes, but sexually. Head? Get it? It's basically like we have our very own built-in palate cleanser. So now you don't need to rewatch The Office for the 477th time to get all that murder out of your brain before bed.
Listen in to every True Crime Tuesday and Thirsty Thursday on your favorite podcasting platform.
Spotify, Apple, whatever.
And check out our description in each episode for the links to all of our socials.
Here's wishing you much more foreplay.
And much less foul play.
Goodbye.
I'm Whitney.
And I'm Melissa,
We are podcast addicts,
fascinated with true crime.
winos,
Boy moms,
and both live in Texas.
we became best friends almost instantly.
When we discovered our obsession with true crime, Pinot Grigio, and all things macabre.
We decided to bring our love of wine and podcasts to you.
Join us on our weekly adventures as we branch out on new wines and cover crimes from across the nation.
We will discuss everything from cults to kidnappings to murders and all that fall in between.
Pop a cork or grab a glass.
This is Cults, Crimes, and Cabernet.
You guys, we're back. John and Kate did in fact move to Gold Beach with her beloved cat Mittens.
Oh, Mittens.
Yeah. And they became really good friends with their landlords, who seemed like a really lovely couple. It seemed that they would finally settle into an idyllic life. As the mid-90s wore on, his behavior had become increasingly manipulative, controlling, and abusive.
Oh. See, it was sounding so good. And then you
It
just ruined
was.
it.
Yeah. I mean, at the time that they moved to Gold Beach, there were already, I mean, let's face it, before they went on their first date, there were some
Yeah.
red flags. But,
Yeah.
you know, again, this is like, that's not Kate's fault, you know? You want to believe the best of people, so.
And he's a doctor.
Right.
Like,
There is something to that where obviously that's a huge overstep, but a lot of people are just very trusting of a physician. But he was jealous and neurotic. The progression to physical and even sexual violence in this case is so predictable. It's like it came straight from some sort of abuser handbook, which, if that book exists, I think we need to round up all of the copies. And I'm not one to typically get behind this type of thing, but I think we need to do a good old-fashioned book burning.
hell yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So all of his worst behavior would eventually lead to their downfall, but it would take more than one attempt for Kate to decide to leave her abusive partner, as I think probably most of us know is common, and not before John drunkenly threatened Kate with a loaded gun, actually firing a shot in their shared home.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That is so terrifying.
I know it's horrific. The scary thing about this is how common it is that, you know, it takes multiple attempts for somebody to leave an abusive partner. Most of the statistics that I've read, and I don't know if there are, you know, numbers that are different now, but the most common one I've heard is it takes someone typically 7 attempts before they are able to successfully leave behind an abusive partner.
Gosh.
It's horrifying.
That is like, and it opens you up that many more times for like retaliation from that
It does.
abusive partner.
The most dangerous time is the, you know, weeks, months, you know, potentially years after leaving that partner. So it's my understanding that that altercation actually took place on her father's birthday,
Jeez.
which just kind of feels like somehow it piles it on, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's not ever a good day for that happen.
No,
for that
well,
to
no,
happen,
but
it just adds insult to injury, I feel like.
yeah.
So she fled their home and spent some time at a women's shelter at that point. John eventually convinced her to take him back with the agreement that he would remove the gun and any other weapons from the home.
That seems logical.
Yep. But of course, as you might have guessed, the honeymoon type period that precedes such a violent episode didn't last long in this case. Eventually, Kate would be convinced to end the relationship for good. They would continue to live together as friends, though Kate was really nervous about how volatile John could be, and the situation was certainly tenuous at times. They were at the point where, you know, eventually they were going to be really like separating for good and they wouldn't be living together. John had spent a lot more time traveling to California, and so they weren't seeing a lot of each other. And it's in that transition time that we kind of really get the the true crime piece coming in.
Oh, no. Okay.
Yep. All right. We warned you, and brace yourselves.
Can I
All
pour
right.
more wine?
Yep, let's do it.
Ah, not again. Don't spill the wine. She gave me a stem today, and it was really brave of her. Like, really brave.
I know. I didn't even think about it. We've been using the fancy glasses, so.
I need like a whole glove that just like attaches the drink to my hand so that I don't knock it over.
All right, we'll get out the sippy cups. All right. We're ready now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. On Saturday, May 29th, 1999, so this is, I mean, over 20 years ago, but think about how old I was about to say we, but you're a whole year younger than I.
I'm a year younger than you?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
What
well,
year
I
were you
didn't know
born,
that. 89.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
July of 88. It was a good year. Ugh.
I guess I did know that. I don't know. I'm crazy. It's fine.
I just feel like when you hear about cases like this, you think, oh, your mind would want to believe that this is something from like the 60s or 70s
Yeah.
or, better yet, maybe like, a couple hundred years ago.
Nope.
No. Literally in our lifetimes. Just for scale. Just for context. So, on May 29th, 1999, Kate would desperately flee their home in Gold Beach, Oregon, hoping to escape with her life intact after a brutal attack. Strangely, this day had seemed to pass rather pleasantly between the two, none of the day's events providing any hint of the dark turn the evening would take. They had worked in the yard and they tended their garden in those last days of May. But on that particular day, Kate had decided to take a break from those strenuous chores to pass the time with some daytime TV.
Soaps?
Yeah. That's funny, you knew right away. Yeah, the Kardashians weren't televised at that point.
These are the days of our lives.
Kate would reflect that John seemed annoyed entering the house to realize she was content to spend a little time leisurely watching a soap opera. Because how dare she, right?
How dare she?
How dare she?
Woman of the house needs to be constantly doing chores.
Yeah. Ugh. She hoped to lighten what was very quickly becoming an ominous, moody tension between them when she mentioned one of her plans for the future. She was going to volunteer at the women's shelter where she had stayed during one of their previous separations, following a physical altercation that had involved John threatening her with a gun. Sound familiar? We just
Yeah.
learned about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Just
kind
checking.
of sweet. She wanted to volunteer there.
I thought so too, but big mistake. Huge.
Ugh.
Which is horrible because obviously Kate had done nothing wrong at all. However, this was apparently the straw that broke the abusive camel's back.
Fuck that camel.
Oh, fuck that camel. John's mood became decidedly bitter and foul in the moments immediately following that simple statement. But that's all that it takes for a guy like John, and his unpredictability is used as a weapon like many other abusers. That's when Kate decided to resume her assistance with the yard work in order to keep the peace. Until the sun began to set, they worked nearby one another, though they didn't carry on in conversation because he resumed weed whacking, which is obviously super loud and not conducive to conversation. But here's where, just an aside, anybody else notice that men get really worked up about their outdoor space when there's a small appliance or motorized device involved?
Yep.
But I digress. I just think that's funny. Like, if there's not power tools involved, they like just don't care.
Yeah.
Am I right? Okay.
It needs to go bzzz.
Yeah.
Not those kind of power tools.
The ladies like it too.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, really what I'm doing here is I'm just stalling, but here we go. When they resolved to end their work in the yard for the day, John built a fire in their outdoor fire pit, and the source of John's sudden and increasingly unpredictable bouts of anger and general creepiness became clear. He was drunk.
Oh.
He'd been day drinking in the sun as they dutifully performed their outdoor chores. And you guys, I hate to break this to you, but he was wine drunk on, of all God-forsaken things, probably your grandma's favorite buttery-ass Chardonnay.
Ew.
I already hated John, but now I've also lost respect for his palate.
Ugh. We hate
Gross.
Chardonnay.
We're not a fan.
Sorry if you like it. It's
Yeah,
fine.
I-
We just don't like it.
In my notes, if you like Chardonnay, we can agree to disagree. But fuck you, fuck you, John. You Chardonnay sipping piece of human garbage. Sorry, not sorry. I said what I said.
Chardonnay.
Chardonnay. Yeah, sounds like somebody else has been doing some day drinking. You think?
Whoops.
Oh well. When Kate decided to head inside for a shower, John got verbally nasty, actually threatening her that she was going to die tonight.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he's just going for it. He described the various ways that he could kill her, being that he was trained in karate. To which I say, okay, calm down, Dwight.
Oh
Yeah. You're welcome for a decidedly lighter flashback to the office before this next part.
my God. Oh, thank you. Okay.
But seriously, his lengthy and exceedingly calm explanations became darker and scarier. It was obvious to Kate that he'd given several scenarios a great deal of thought. She steeled herself as it became apparent that negotiating was out of the question.
Oh man. I can't even imagine standing there while someone's telling you all the ways they would
I'm
like
gonna
to kill you.
Yeah. I know. I was like, I can't even imagine how you don't just completely panic and freak out.
Yeah.
So this is when it starts. He began to hit her hard in the face and moving on to her body. When she fell to the ground, he spit on her and began choking her. But Kate was a fighter who knew that she had to manage to stay conscious. This is the part of the book that just was like, oh my God, she is incredible. She told herself she had to protect her brain to have any chance of survival. She said, I have to get him to stop hitting me in the head.
Wow.
If I pass out, he's going to kill me while I'm passed out.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, she's like literally 3 steps ahead on this.
To have that thought while all of that is happening, like,
Yeah.
wow.
I was blown away. Though for this next part, she may have later wished that she hadn't been conscious because John proceeded to aggressively drag her into the house with no concern for her discomfort as she struggled and bumped up the set of stairs. That's where, in the living room, he forced her to strip and he raped her. She was cold from shock, but of course he didn't care. John told her in horrific details how he would follow up this attack. Okay, you guys, it's okay if you want to just tune out for this like 30 seconds, okay? He planned to rape and murder Kate's mother, kill her father, then Kate's best friend and the best friend's daughter, topping it all off by kidnapping Kate's niece and keeping her captive for the purpose of forcing her to become addicted to cocaine.
Why?
I don't know.
What?
Normally, this would be where I say something like, you can't make this up, but obviously John did.
Like, what? Okay.
Yeah,
What? Like, why?
that's the content of his brain.
Oh,
Yikes.
someone needed to hit him in the head.
Yes. So, throughout the attack, John verbally berated and interrogated her. And oddly, though he held a knife to her neck or chest throughout, this is so gross, he did opt to use lubricant when he raped her.
Oh. Okay. Thanks.
Yeah. It's unlikely that this was meant to lessen her discomfort in any way, rather than really just kind of making his part easier. So gross.
The cringe that's happening right now.
I know.
I don't know if you guys can hear it.
It's just horrific. Deep breath.
Yeah.
So, John told Kate that though he had already raped her at length at this point, that he was going to get a condom and also rape her anally before he killed her.
Oh my God.
And ultimately rape her corpse as well.
Oh my God. Like, what the fuck?
And the first thought that popped into my head was still #NeverBundy.
Oh.
Yeah. Though he did attempt to restrain her before leaving the room, Kate thought very quickly about the possibility of multiple guns being in the house and decided not to take a chance that rather than what he said he was doing, which was grabbing a condom, that he was possibly actually retrieving one of those weapons.
Oh no.
She discovered that she was able to loosen and slowly escape the haphazard restraint. She made a run for the door and quietly crept away from the house as quickly as she could.
Wow.
In her terror, she knew she couldn't stop to find her cat Mittens,
Not Mittens.
which is heartbreaking.
Oh.
But it's okay. It's okay. Remember, I didn't do trigger warning for animal stuff, okay?
Okay,
It's gonna be okay. She prayed that he would stay hidden outside, for it seemed even the cat was now fearful of John. Because duh, they sense that energy from a mile away.
Gosh, that reminds me of Invisible Man, the new one. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't.
You haven't seen the new Invisible Man?
No.
That movie is so good.
Maybe I'll watch that tonight.
It's really good.
It's like this story.
That just the leaving your animal behind. If you watch it, just watch it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. She quickly decided which neighbor's house in which to seek refuge. In total, she considered 3. She ran completely naked to a nearby couple's house. She quickly and quietly woke them for fear that John might be just outside.
Oh my gosh.
She implored them to call 911 and huddled shaking in a sleeping bag that had been on their couch until law enforcement arrived. Luckily, John hadn't been able to work out where she was hiding. She hadn't run to the nearest neighbor. Smart.
She's so fucking smart.
She's the fucking smartest, but she also did the math because she feared the outcome of a crazed John trailing her to the home of a single mother with small children. She was like, I can't go there.
No.
So, unfortunately, that was where luck ran out. John made a clever and daring escape from law enforcement that descended on that quiet coastal neighborhood in response to the call for emergency assistance. Still, and this makes complete fucking sense, Kate was terrified that John would return to kill her.
Yeah.
Because, he's only told her like 17 different ways that he could kill her. She was taken to the hospital with a patrol car following her to ensure her safety. The responding officers gathered evidence back at the scene of the crime while Kate dealt with a piece of shit, uncaring doctor at the hospital who couldn't be bothered to properly attend to her, though thankfully he did at least, if begrudgingly, perform a rape kit. If I knew who he was, I would write to the medical board and literally any other authority, whether they cared to listen or not, to try to get his ass fired and his license suspended or, preferably revoked. Until this dickhead completed some lengthy sensitivity training. My bet is that this was long enough ago. Hopefully he's dead.
Oh my gosh. So she's had to deal with 2 shitty doctors in her life.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't even know what course of action should be taken, but I'm pissed to the point of verging on a nonverbal state that's particularly detrimental in podcasting. So, suffice to say, the late night ordeal certainly got worse before it got better, as is unfortunately the case very often in these situations. The audacity of, see, and here I am, I'm lying, I'm going to go into it. The audacity of anyone to imply that she should feel any shame, while also ignoring her other injuries and concerns like a possible concussion, is just beyond me to comprehend. Okay. We literally can't go any deeper or get into more specifics on this because I'm going to lose it in a way that will not only not in any way add to this episode, but will do immeasurable damage to my psyche and also probably yours too.
There's steam coming out of her ears right now.
This is one of the many reasons why domestic violence and sexual assault are underreported. Let's just start from a place where, I don't know, believing victims and trying to do better throughout the whole damn process. And then from there forward. Shall
Right?
we? Can we?
I mean, like, she obviously came in with injuries. Like,
Yeah.
did she do that to herself?
No. But that's the thing is it's not even about that she did it to herself. There was just a lot of victim blame. I mean, there still
Like,
is.
what did you do to deserve that, bitch?
Oh, I can't. Thankfully, for once in comparison to many other cases we know, and I hate to put it like this, but here it is, law enforcement shockingly was not bumbling and useless or insensitive. Let that settle in. The sheriff's office stated she was not to return to the home alone, and they actually provided accommodation for her to be escorted to the property to tend to her cat Mittens, who was wisely also hiding out, as well as to collect any of her belongings as needed every day.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Her neighbors insisted that she live with them until her father could arrive to provide her protection and support that she was going to need for the foreseeable future. A warrant was issued for John's arrest immediately following the holiday weekend of her attack. You guys, this is how her holiday weekend ended.
Wow, what a dickhead.
He literally cannot let any, nice occasion pass without marking it with violence.
Ugh.
Her dad's birthday, holiday weekend. That's just how John do.
Put it on the calendar, man. Like,
Fucker. He was charged with 4 felonies and 3 misdemeanors, and bail was set at $1 million, though obviously he was still eluding custody. Kate's father arrived from Arizona and helped her through the process of moving to Orcas Island, one of the San Juan Islands in the Puget Sound in the state of Washington, using an alias. Once her physical presence was no longer required by local law enforcement to build a case against John. Both of her parents stayed with her on Orcas Island for a month.
aww.
It's a really beautiful place, and I visited it quite a few times as a kid.
Really?
Yeah, my
Aw.
grandparents used to live there.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It sounds, I mean, I don't think I've ever seen it or even heard of it.
Oh, it's gorgeous. Okay, that's another field trip. Kate very slowly began to settle in and regain some sense of safety and security. She would eventually find that she could return to her work as a flight attendant with American Airlines.
Aww.
They worked with her to be sure that she could do so safely. She did still have nightmares and a looming fear of what might happen to the next woman that fell under John's spell, in the absence of Kate being able to actually provide that poor woman a warning. John had contacted her several times shortly after the attack. He would continue periodically contacting her from various phone numbers, through his legal representation, also writing letters to her. That was before she relocated, of course. Even attempting to manipulate her into pleading for a lesser sentence on his behalf.
Wow.
The
is
gall.
that? Right? Like, how did his legal team allow that?
Oh, even they were like, oh, he's clearly a manipulator.
Oh
They're like,
my
yeah,
God.
Kate, I mean, he wants us to ask you to do this, but
That should be illegal. Like, that just doesn't seem right.
it feels kind of on the verge of witness tampering to me, but
yeah.
all right. Rather than letting him play on any of her sympathy as he had hoped, and this fucker sure as shit tried, obviously, Kate used any communication with John or those close to him to try to help law enforcement locate him, which actually led to at least one close call with law enforcement. But ultimately, John escaped that attempt to bring him into custody, and the trail really went cold.
Wait, they still hadn't caught him?
Nope.
But he had legal
Yep.
team?
He had a legal team.
Is that legal for them not to, like, what? I don't.
Yeah, I mean, every criminal has, any individual has the right to representation.
But
And yeah, I mean, they obviously have to try to encourage their client to come forward, but they didn't, at least allegedly, know where he was either.
okay. I
It's
guess
not like
that
they
makes
were
sense.
keeping him from law enforcement,
Okay.
but if your client is in the wind, so to speak, if you've taken them on as a client, unless you dismiss them, they still have the obligation to represent him.
Gosh, I guess I was just thinking like your meeting with the lawyers is in person, right? But I
Yep,
guess
not
it doesn't have to
necessarily.
be. Yeah.
Yep.
Just like, what are these lawyers doing?
Yeah, you're like, what the flying fuckity fuck.
Oh.
Now, as painful as it is to not end this episode with a true conclusion to the case, I am breaking this up into 2 episodes. I don't know about you, but I've had just about all that I can handle of John for today.
Yeah.
So we'll just, let's talk a little tarot, though.
Okay.
Yeah. Reach my little T-Rex arm for the book and our card. Okay, so I'll read this again, Cassie, and you just let me know if you don't hear something that resonates for you.
Okay.
When the Eight of Wands appears reversed, you may feel overwhelmed by the activity around you. Unexpected changes can throw you off balance. You may be required to travel or relocate, although you'd rather not.
Interesting.
This card says, "Stop, world. I want to get off."
Oh my God.
Now remember, I didn't go into this nearly so much in this first episode, but we'll get into it a little bit more. I didn't focus on some of the financial fraud that John, spoiler alert, is a part of in this first part, but it's there. So I know this part applies. In a reading about money, this card can mean money goes out faster than it comes in, which is 1,001% John all day, every day. In a reading about your job, the reversed 8 indicates an exceptionally busy period when you have to work harder than usual. During this stressful time, you may feel unequal to the task. Perhaps you'll do lots of work-related traveling.
Oh.
In a reading about love, a relationship seems to be happening too fast and you feel out of control. Sometimes this card can indicate an illicit, passionate affair.
Oh my God.
Does anybody need me to connect those dots at all, or you guys feel satisfied with that?
Pretty right on the dang nose here.
Yeah. Definitely their relationship, I didn't go too in-depth into like the early days, but obviously it starts quickly, it gets off and running quickly.
Definitely illicit.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, not necessarily fully to Kate's knowledge, but nonetheless, here we are.
Yeah. And who knows, gosh, who knows how many other people he did that to? You know. Do you know? You're looking at me like you know.
I can only speculate, but yeah, I would be shocked if there were not others.
Wow.
All right. That's it for this week, you guys. I am not giving you $1, a cent, a
$1?
second, a minute more. That's it. Oh man. Okay, I can't wait to get into the second part of this because we're gonna bring it back, you guys. It's gonna get worse again before it gets better, but I promise I'm gonna try to leave you with something good.
Okay.
All right. How do we end these things usually? What is it that we say?
I don't remember.
Just kidding.
Have a Chardonnay day.
Oh my God. Ugh, I'd rather be dead. Ugh. Okay.
Have a creepy ass day. See you next Tuesday.
So, for all of you that are listening, if you have any true crime or paranormal stories that you want us to share, maybe with the whole Pacific Northwest.
Yes, we would love to read them on the pod.
Yes, we will read them out loud.
Not just in our heads.
Yes. They don't have to be from the Pacific Northwest if you would like to share. Email us at pnwhauntsandhomicides@gmail.com. It's all spelled out, no special characters. Super duper easy peasy.
Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Same thing as the email at PNW Haunts and Homicides, all spelled out, no special characters. Please also rate and review us on whatever platform you're listening to, and check out our stories on social media because our meme game is hot.
Agreed.
And if you agree, like Caitlin, you can also find us on Patreon and support the show.
Bitchin'. Charles, Mommy is doing very important business, sir. Okay.
I left one of those in when you were...
I heard that.
I don't remember what episode, but I was like, hey, I'm gonna
It
leave
was
that
kind
one
of
in.
funny.
It was funny.
Yeah. Shh. Charles, I'm not kidding. Don't whine again. They worked with her to be sure that she could do so safely. Hey! Shush it! If you can hear the siren in the background, it sounds like I'm shushing a fire truck. Shush! Shush, shush, shush. I'm shushing a dog. Okay.